And hello, we are live with No Budget Productions, Filk Fair Productions. I am Big J from Beyond Trek Podcast. I'm here with JD and Mickey, and V Man will be joining us shortly. We're going to be talking about the series finale of Star Trek Discovery. Wow, it has been a long road. I'm sorry, long
They made
series.
2 Enterprise references in that episode.
Hey, don't jump ahead now. But yeah, so we're going to talk about how we felt in regards to the series finale, and I've got mixed feelings about it. I've had the day to sit and to think about it. Watched a live stream that was done by our friends at NerdTube. Was able to watch some of that. Was in the middle of my daughter's softball practice and read some reviews online because there were a couple things that even though I was watching it, I felt like, wait a minute, what did I just miss? But what should be obvious is that if you are sitting on this live stream, we are going to spoiler the hell out of the last episode of Star Trek Discovery. So please, for the love of God, stop watching this
Don't do
because
it.
we're going to spoil it. If you haven't seen the episode, go away. Now's your chance. Unless you want to stay and look at my pretty face, then that's
or
all right.
unless you're still watching it and in the middle of it like Mickey is.
I'm not
Right?
I've got
You only had all day.
my all day started at noon, and I was at that freaking office for 110 years. 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left. Most of that's probably credits, anyways. She's old. No, she's dead. She died.
Okay.
Have they left? Have they left? Have the spoilers left?
Right.
But I had to watch last week's episode too because I got really busy.
Slacker.
So I had to rush home. You sent me. Oh no.
Well,
he sent me the message, and he's like, he was like, oh yeah, I was like, I gotta rush home.
do you want to mute us so you can watch it while we're talking? Because we can always loop you in right when you're done so that you can finish watching. There's plenty that JD and I and Vance can talk about if you want to like tune us out while you're doing that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. All right.
It looks like we kind of lost.
Well, I'm gonna
Vance for a
mute.
minute, so.
Okay. Well, you muted you. Can you still hear me? All right. Well, then that's not going to help you. All right. Well, you're stuck. I don't know. I can't help you, Mickey. Okay. Yeah. Or you know what? Close out of exit StreamYards. Close out of the whole thing, and then come back into StreamYards when you're ready. There you go. That's the solution. Okay. So JD. Vance is back. Let me go ahead and start, if you guys don't mind. So there were a couple things I was disappointed with. One of them was the whole, oh, this isn't our technology. We found it from somebody else. That whole thing was kind of I'm not sure how to feel about that. So the progenitors used the tech, but it was not theirs. They also found it. I've got mixed feelings on that. In a way, it's kind of like, okay, so the mystery is still there and unresolved as to where did this come from? Who created the creators?
Right.
Kind of conundrum. So, okay, all right. Pitching the whole thing into a black hole so that nobody could ever find it or get to it ever again. In my opinion, I think it was either going to be that or it was going to be Michael Burnham becomes the steward of all technology that is used to create life, because goddamn well that's what they were wanting to do, and that's what would have happened. So it's either the Burnham show now and forever, or get rid of it so nobody can play with it. So I think I was okay given the options to just get rid of it. Having to again kind of feel obligated to tie into the short trek Calypso. Man, Michael Chabon,
you happy now?
He wrote themselves. I mean, he pretty much wrote a big corner on that, didn't he? It's like, yes, okay, fans, are you happy? Are you freaking happy now? We found a way to include a short trek and make it canon again. I don't. That was kind of like, to me, I took that as a big, finger to the whole fandom.
Yeah.
Of, all right, here, fucking happy with it. We tied it in. It's all nice, neat bow. Shut up. We're done.
The thing that Discovery does well is, and I couldn't
Fuck
quite.
you to the fans is what it does well.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it or put it into words until last night. And once Discovery was over, I knew exactly how I felt. Discovery is a great series of big moments, but everything in between falls flat. Like the moment at the end of the series with Admiral Burnham and Book and Minnie Burnham, that or Minnie Book, however you want to put it, like that was a great moment, but everything else was kind of whatever. Her walking onto the ship was kind of a cool moment, but again, other stuff, meh. The Mark Philippe and Daniel Vance, greetings, welcome to the chat. Thank you for watching us, guys. The thing that I felt with this was you could tell the difference between the series finale and the season finale, and where they had to go back and do the reshoots.
Oh yeah.
The thing that I felt, yeah,
very clear what they added.
Yeah. I loved the season, or I love the series finale part of it, because it really didn't have much of a connection to the season finale. I didn't give a fuck about the season finale, because once she got in there and it went all Doctor Who-esque, where it was bigger on the inside than on the outside, I didn't give a fuck, because it looked a lot like the Iconian shit. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? Now, I did like the fact that, like, one planet looked kind of like the Nibiru from Star Trek Into Darkness with the neon-colored tree. And the other planet looked kind of like Genesis planet with, like, burning rocks and shit. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But the thing about it was, this is supposed to be a civilization that outdates everything and is so far out there. Like, this didn't feel like that. And it felt just like a bunch of... I don't know. Everything felt flat about this, and it didn't feel real at all. And I don't mean that in the sense of, wow, this is so far out there. I just meant like it felt like it was filmed on a green screen, and it just didn't have any love to it. This
Vance, do you think they went and found a planet to film that on? Yes, it was a green screen.
Well, it was the
no, but I mean, they could have gone outside.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
No, but I mean, if everything felt fake, nothing felt like it had any substance to it, and I was so bored hearing like two women grunt as they pound each other. That is not a euphemism.
That's never boring.
But
if I can, real quick, that was actually the part of the episode that upset me the most. Was that fight in the first act where, like, first they were like, "Yeah, let's work together." But then all of a sudden, Michael starts beating up on Locke, and then after a few minutes of them beating up, or Maul, after a few minutes after them beating up on each other, she's like, "Well, can't we work together?" And I'm like, "Why did you start the fight in the first place?"
Yeah, it was terrible. The thing is, like, we had said weeks ago, I was like, I don't think I'm going to care about this villain at the end of it, and I didn't. I didn't care about either one of them. Like, do we know anything really about that brain dude?
Yeah.
Like anything about it? Like, I don't. Or about this lady outside of, like, I would rather them have spent half the season with her and Book. Discussing like what exactly went on with her. Like, I feel like there's like a shitload of deleted scenes that we're never gonna fucking see, that the writers are just like, ha ha ha, and I don't know. I feel like seasons 4 and seasons 5 were useless. I feel like they should have just stopped at season 3 after we got that scream, because I know I was screaming in seasons 4 and seasons 5.
See, I
You
like
didn't
this
like
season.
the Lord of the Rings ending of the series finale Discovery? I mean, that was all the hugging and
Here's the thing about that. You took away the people for half the season, and then all of a sudden they're all back hugging, and I'm like,
Right.
whoa, where the fuck did they come from? I mean, they were there long.
Don't bring them back. Not
No,
now.
no. I mean, and that's the thing, like, okay, you gave us the B team for half the season. We saved the universe with the progenitor shit with the B team, and then you give us the hugs with the A team. It's like, whoa, why didn't you give us hugs with the B team? Like, you took them away. Like, you're just constantly taking people from us. So, like, I mean, granted, it was great, as Zam would have put it, with Mrs. T and Wishlist 7 of 9. You know, but you know, like I was surprised to see them, but we didn't spend any time with them. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, it's good to see them hugging, but outside of a hug, I would rather have spent time with what is it, Reno? Is it Reno?
Yeah.
Reno?
I was
okay.
I was kind of pissed that she's missing from most of this episode. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the series ender, and you couldn't put her in it, but we got a pat on the head from that buzz cut lady. Or not late. The them they them. The one that hangs out with Stamets. I can't stand that character. Yeah, I don't think Adira is a good. The person that plays Adira is. I don't think they're a good actor or actress. Whatever. Like, I don't think the person that plays Adira is talented. I don't like the character. The only reason they're there is to take the attention away from Stamets. I hate when Stamets gives that character credit. I feel like attention was just divided amongst people that I don't care about. So I feel like the season was wasted. And then when we got hugs at the end, I felt like that was kind of a gut punch of, man, I wish we could have spent time with these people, because I miss those people, because I never really got to know them. And that was why I was kind of tearful and you know, man, why couldn't we have gotten them?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And now that it's over, I want to ask this just to see if I'm crazy or not. But someone I don't, you know how when you're on the internet, you just see stuff and you try to click off of it as fast as you can because it might be a spoiler. I could have swore on something. It might have been someone's Facebook post. Somebody had put up a screen cap from the series finale of the Enterprise R. I don't know. I could swear for a brief second I saw a picture of like a spoiler was the 32nd century ship was the Enterprise, and Enterprise R. Was that cut? Was that a picture that wasn't real?
You know,
it was the thing about like I saw it, but not in the episode. I saw a photo.
The thing about Discovery ships, like, because everything's neon blue and faded and hued out, I can't make sense of what the fuck is in anything. So I don't know. It could have been there and I just didn't see it. So I don't know. And since we now have, and since like most of the ships are now like separated from the actual ship, you know, the pylons don't connect with nothing. It could have been there. Like, it's hard to tell the difference between like a spacecraft or like a shuttlecraft from like just a warp nacelle these days. So I don't know. Like, it's hard to make.
Wonder if that scene when Admiral Burnham first comes to the starbase, there's like 10, 12 ships in that shot. It could have been one of those, and I didn't notice.
They probably cut it because they didn't know they were ending, and they were going to include it, but they couldn't, and then they had to shove all that stuff in. So I just
that's possible too. Yeah.
What did you guys think of Daniel's reveal for the glasses guy?
That was awesome. I did not see that coming at all. That was pretty damn cool.
I like that. I actually thought he might have been that.
Says they predicted that is full of shit. I'll tell you that right. No one called that.
I had to look it up.
Well, I didn't say. I said he would.
Like,
it was
Enterprise.
Be...
We're going back to Enterprise. So that's what I'm saying. They had 2 Enterprise calls in that episode.
I had made the comment that he might be the guy in the shadows.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I thought that
he was
Daniel came from
kind of
3100 though.
It's
Right?
just a
What-
step off from that whole temporal war thing, though. It didn't
No,
really
Daniel-
surprise me.
It says
No, Daniel came from the 29th century, didn't he?
no. It says 31. 'Cause again,
31st.
I had to look it up.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I
See,
actually
I
I pulled up Daniel's memory alpha and memory beta because I was actually trying to remember some stuff myself.
Yeah,
it actually made me.
Apparently,
it
he was
actually made me
actually
wanna
in a
go back
novel. Sorry, I was just
No,
thought
I-
I get a
go
kick
ahead.
out of it. He apparently in one of the novels, Daniel was killed by a Borg T-Rex.
What?
Stop.
I didn't know that
Your
myself.
little
but it's in one of
arms
the
and big head will
books.
be incorporated with us. Resistance is futile.
See, I
Oh,
liked
yeah,
the
29th
idea.
century was
it-
Voyager. That's right, Mark.
That's right. The relativity. That's right. See, it makes me want to go back and watch Enterprise with Daniel. Just thinking of the glasses guy. Like, I mean, it doesn't change anything, but I loved the Daniels character. I think we all kind of
Was that
did. Like,
just
if you
him
like time travel.
aged? Was that him aged?
Probably, because he says he's been he's been around. I mean, obviously he has, but I mean, yeah,
Okay, so that's him grown up.
grown up. He's seen some shit.
That was the never-ending episode, though. That was the Lord. Who said Lord of the Rings ending?
That was me. Yeah, they went back and did a Lord of
Nailed
the
that
Rings.
because I was like, and then I was like,
I-
oh, and then like the wedding. I would have been happy.
I see. I felt like the wedding was a disappointment. Like I feel like they.
Well, if the wedding had been more bigger and Wesley had done
Yeah. I love the Saru part though. Like I know I've dogged on this episode a lot, but I felt like what they did right, like the first officer part, I loved that. I loved the crew in the battle, but I felt like the battle was kind of boring. Because again, like I love what they did with the Breen ship, where I mean they really did something that you just didn't see coming, where they zapped it to the galactic barrier. I mean that
They
was
yeeted
fucking
the hell out of that
cool.
Yeah, that
Now
was
they
Yeah.
have
cool.
powerless, this like infinite powered weapon. Like they can just go do that to Kronos or something.
yeah, dude, it was fucking. I mean that was
Hey,
Like,
like I get the Borg. They're great. You'll love them. We're gonna send you right to them.
That was a pretty fucked
Yeah.
up thing to do.
dude, that was great. That was great.
That was a prime directive violation if I've ever heard one. At least there's got to be a part in the prime directive that says like, don't throw an entire race of people to the edge of the galaxy and
It was just one ship.
let them voyager their way back.
It's called the caretaker clause.
I like that, JD. I like that. That's good. It's good.
I did have to rewind because I thought they were gonna send the
Progenitors.
yeah, those guys.
Oh, look,
I think
Vance
they're
knows
gonna
a
send
word.
that to the edge of the galaxy too, and I'm like, don't send that to there. And then I had to rewind it and see that they shot it through the black hole.
Mhm.
So I watched till it disappeared.
I don't. What did you guys think of actually them meeting the progenitors? I don't. I really was disappointed by that. I don't feel like Michael Burnham should have met them. I feel like that was kind of a. Everybody always, when they meet Michael Burnham, they're always kind of kissing ass to Michael Burnham, and I felt like, my God, the oldest race in the galaxy fucking kisses her ass too. Did you guys feel that way here?
Someone said in the beginning that it was stupid that it wasn't even them.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we found this. And
It wasn't.
awesome.
That was
Well,
the.
can we like realize this power, so we're gonna hide
Well,
it from you guys forever.
So one
Right.
of the things
I
that I
don't-
wonder if they're trying to set up as an idea is the fact that it got thrown into the black hole. One of the many theories about black holes is that they just kind of throw stuff through time and space. I wonder if they're trying to say that the progenitor's tech has just been on this circular trip through time, and now it's gotten thrown 10 billion years into the past for the progenitors to find again.
And now
No.
we have Borg T-Rexes. So
Exactly.
I think I'm okay with I'm okay with her meeting the progenitors. I'm okay
Yeah.
with the progenitor tech being tech that they also found and just adapted and utilized, because that basically says, well, we might have thought we were going to tell you that we are introducing you to the creators of all life in the galaxy, but we know you're asking yourself, well, but then where did the progenitors come from? So it leaves that question unanswered, that they found it from somebody else, which basically is kind of
it was the architects.
Yeah, and Vance, I think you were disconnected at the time, but it's the whole question of, well, who created the creators? And that thought is maintained by the progenitor saying, "Oh, well, we found this too, so we don't know who created it." Because what's going to happen is, every time you think you get closer to well, whose is it, you're going to have that paradox of, well, who created them? Where did they come from?
See, I think I wish they would have delved in. See, to me, it feels like it's kicking the can down the road, and I
Sure.
loved, and maybe there really is no right way to tell that story. Maybe this is the only way to tell the story that they could think of. But I loved in the original. What's the name of the episode? The Chase.
The Chase.
Where the progenitor comes in and tells them, we searched the galaxy and we couldn't find anybody. We were it. Like, it doesn't really try to answer anything more. It just states that and lets it be. So they created life because they couldn't find anything. When you try to go above that and say, well, something created us, this was their tech, like, it kind of goes that one step above, and I don't like that. I loved what was there, which was, we were all that was, and there was nothing else. When you go to something above you that has that, it answers that. And I really don't know if there really was any way to make a satisfying story for someone like me. I don't know. Like, to me, I just, when she said that continuous life cycle, basically, kind of story, I was unsatisfied with that. I was like, because we've heard that with Battlestar Galactica. We've heard that in other type of science fiction, and it's not that it's a bad story. It's just I was looking for something a little bit more satisfying, because I was really satisfied with that. With what was left in the Chase, and this to me wasn't really it. I don't know. To me, it just, I don't know what would have really satisfied me here, and I don't know if it's just the fact that maybe it's something that could have come back to later on, or.
I think that's kind of the issue, Vance, is that you're only gonna. The only time I've ever seen anybody write a story about a creation idea in science fiction that the writer comes to a resolution is, well, I mean, one of Asimov's books sitting on my shelf right there. It seems that only in books will the writers actually commit to something. We haven't seen that in any version of film or TV that I can think of, where somebody was like, we're gonna just decide that it was the Googly Moogans, and that's where we started, and everything came from that. Sorry, I had to throw something out, and that's what it came out.
We're gonna use that in a story. That's
the Googly Moogans.
That's great.
It reminded me of Contact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
So
that's
like,
I love, which of course is based off of Asimov.
Like, I love the idea of an alien race searching the entire cosmos and realizing that the fact that they are alone. I think it's incredibly beautiful, and that they plant those seeds because there is nothing there, so they take it from them. So I think that's really beautiful. And I felt like
when did they discover that the original
they said it was like 6 million years or billion.
How long were they roaming,
4 billion. Okay.
So they were.
I don't remember.
Because like that's a really long time to be alone.
Yeah.
And
No,
then-
that's the tragedy of like when you leave the chase, like there's an emptiness in her voice. Like it's beautiful but tragic, and I don't know, like to me it always left a mark of what if we are, like, I personally feel like there are aliens. I feel like there's extraterrestrials. I feel like the universe is so big, like there has to be something else out there, even if it's
Yeah.
not what we think is alien life. But what if by chance, what if we get out there and there is nothing? What if we are all that there is? You know, how sad would that be? And that's what these people went through, and they went through the entire thing and were like, well, let's make life. And I felt that incredibly beautiful, and I felt like this story kind of cheapened it, where they're like, well, we found this. And to me it's like, well, that's no different than the movie Alien, where they go on that one planet and they find the face huggers. You know, that's all this was. And to me I was like, I've seen that story, and it was much better with Sigourney Weaver. You know, not Michael Burnham.
Can you guys tell me, because I missed this, why couldn't Locke be brought back to life?
they don't do that
Because it's like building. It's like a house. You can have the bricks and you could build a house, but like you can build, you know, but it wouldn't be the same.
no
So you have
memories,
to
no
Yeah,
life
yeah.
history. It would have been a clone.
Yeah,
Essentially.
Yeah,
they
you wouldn't
couldn't
have the
restore
same
memories.
There's no way to do that. And like it would have just cloned. And then she did mention like you could make him like 3, or you know, whatever age he was. It seemed like she kind of
Look,
alluded
the
to that.
reason they couldn't do it was that they didn't have the great koala there to
Yeah, without
rebirth
the koala,
his
you can't
mind.
do it. So
So that you can reproduce the structure of life, but the technology cannot. Wait a minute. Okay, so hold on a minute.
except she's got his entire thing on that USB drive.
Wait a minute. You're okay. So you're telling me that this technology, this advanced technology that can create life, somehow one piece of it, the transfer of consciousness was trumped by
Guilty.
Aaron Soong. Which Soong?
One of the Soons.
One of the Soongs.
Those damn doctors.
Because Picard had his consciousness, copied over. So did Data. So
There was even that guy in that one episode who put himself into Data and then got all weird and slimy with the young girl.
To be
okay,
fair,
so maybe
none of those people were completely dead when their consciousness was
true.
transferred.
True. Because even when Bones got Spock,
Okay.
he wasn't
All right.
dead yet.
maybe it's that spark
Okay.
of life that you need. Like once it's gone, it's gone.
I'll take
He
it.
really was just kind of carrying around a corpse.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, inner pocket.
I got a corpse. I got a corpse in my pocket.
It's
Right.
he's like a 32nd century Polly Pocket, man. Like that's the way to go, man.
Do you think she kept it? Do you think she kept it? Do you think she just kept it forever? She has never gotten rid of that thing. That is with her in jail.
He's safe with me.
Everyone's watching.
Nobody's safe.
She
with
break-
you, biatch.
She breaks it out on occasion.
Just cuddles with it.
Just stop. That's
Come on, this is Discovery Season 6 we're talking here, people.
ah.
Okay? The future is endless and possible. All the possibilities. We've got Idic. We don't need the projector thing. We've got Idic.
Daniel Vance says, and it played.
Entire access to like all these awesome planets, like better even than the library from TOS. You know what I mean? Like, didn't it blow up anyways? But there have been so many places where we've been able to jump times and places, and there was the Guardian, there was the library, there was the one in Next Gen. Where- Yeah, right? So this kind of was just a bigger version of that, and it was kind of the OG version of being able, because it looked like they could go from planet to planet. Were those were just the ones that still had to be in the nursery because there wasn't any life on them yet? Or it's like, oh well, we kind of fucked that one up because it's really windy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's really windy.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it makes you wonder. Like, if this was done like a gajillion years ago, is it like planets from back then, or is it planets now, or is this like there was, to me, it was just like a lot of questions. Like, I don't know, man. Like the whole problem with the show is like Michael Burnham can come in and do like whatever, and everything works out.
Michael
And that
Burnham
was
show.
Yeah, and that's like what happens here is like she comes in and does the doohickey, and we're all good. And then bald lady comes up and is like, "Hey, chick, like let's hang out." And she's like, "All right, I don't know, maybe." And then she leaves, and then she throws in the black hole. And like, I don't know, man. To me, it was just like, I mean, and that lady's voice was super fucking calm for like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave it up to you whether I live or die, and throw my shit in the black hole." And she did it. And I don't know, man. That lady was way too fucking calm to leave it up to that lady. You waited billions of years to meet somebody. Dude, I get excited when the UPS guy comes up to my house, and you waited billions of years to meet this lady, and you're like, nah, I'm leaving it up to you.
Dead.
Yeah, I think it was just like a...
Hold on. This lady's dead, and she's talking. But she can't bring back the other guy who's dead?
It
I
was,
don't
it was
think
like
she
it
was
was
dead.
like a
I think it was...
recording. It was a holodeck type of thing situation.
Yeah, I took it as a hologram image,
Yeah, me
just
too.
like in the chase.
Yeah. That her being there manifested that program that's going to teach her how to take care of that place. But since she's like, I don't want to do that. Like, we were a
So
team.
they're trying to make her. So they're
being a team, by the way.
So they're trying to make her into Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Essentially.
She
did one thing up. She could have told the
Maybe.
protractor that, you know, it's like, no, you can't just give me. I didn't do this on my own. I have a huge team of people and scientists and all.
But it's still my show.
I don't know who most of them are because literally they totally threw 2 new ones in the last week's episode. I'm like, who the fuck are you guys? Oh, you guys are gonna go get drinks. Well, then go and introduce yourself to everybody.
Right.
It's the Michael Burnham show. Why didn't she tell the person this wasn't me? You can't grant me this huge honor of being in control of this because I solved all your clues. Bitch, I didn't do that alone. Okay.
Look, she just got excited because she saw Michael Burnham beating up the lady with the 90s mom hairstyle, okay? And then she's touching conflict. Dude.
That girl is all eyebrows. No, it was... If we're going to talk about hair, too, can we talk about hair at the wedding and then how way out of their way they went to mask it after the first couple shots of her horrible, horrible hair? Whoever did her hair for that episode hates her. Was like, I have had to deal with you for 5 fucking seasons. Like, I am going to fuck up your hairline so bad that they're going to literally edit things around it.
They're like, man, my check cashed. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. I'm grab some pizza rolls on the way out. I'm fucking out, dude.
I don't
care.
You can walk out of a production office, just grab something, fans, chairs, whatever. As long as you know, you looks like I'm taking this to someone important. They don't give a fuck what you take. Not that I know that from experience at all, but you massaged her. Now it was. I felt like I would have loved for that ending in the weird nursery of planets and shit. I would have loved for her to have really stuck up for her team. I really would. I would have loved for her to say, no, I can't do this. This is literally a team. We had an entire institute, Daystrom, dedicated to this shit. This is effort.
But she couldn't say that because she's like, look, Baldy, I brought the B team. I can't do this by myself. So, nah.
I didn't get to see the cat. I would have rather seen the cat more than Book's new man bun.
I thought it was kind of cool.
I was like, how long has it been? How long did they wait to get married? Jesus. They took a minute.
Did we even see the cat this episode? We didn't, did we?
Did what?
We didn't.
We were robbed of that cat. We didn't get a hug with Janet Reno, which I did hear you talking about because I was watching that scene and I'm waiting. I saw her. She was there. She was there. But we didn't get a hug. Maybe she's not.
She was running around, no hug.
Maybe she's not a hugger. Then does Jet Reno strike you as a hugger?
No.
Actually, I think
you know what,
she
folks?
said that in one of the episodes.
That would, yeah, exactly. But it would have been still funny to have brought that back and have Michael Burnham and her own Michael Burnhamness going in for the hug, and Jet just being like, like, I have to go stand over there.
You know what would have been great though? This is just me. It would have been great to have her and Commander Ear Guy stand over in the corner having a drink. Finally have that fucking drink.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they're gonna be BFFs.
right.
They might even hook up.
I don't.
I feel like he's gotten some resolution from his family. So, you know, he might be ready to move on romantically, except that we'll never know because the only romance in there they're ever going to focus on is the fucking Michael and Book show.
Which, of course, we saw that 30 years in the future.
Oh, I love you. No shit. She's loved you this whole time. She keeps bringing you on fucking missions. She's like keeping you.
Well,
come on, of course. Yeah. Jordy's buying cards, wine, the baseball.
What? Porthos in a glass jar?
I think
is that what it would have been?
Stuffed with a little tiny piece of cheese.
Oh, that's morbid.
What? People stuff dogs.
I was referring to the night in sick bay episode when Porthos is in the water tank. Everybody else hates that episode. I love that episode.
But yeah, we got no grunge. We got a grunge mention, but we got no grunge. I would have literally wanted to see that cat more than I want to see her and him moving on.
Especially on a sunset, then in the future, then in the, like. So I don't like. Here's another complaint that I have, and then I think we'll wrap it up because I got to head back in and do my paperwork. Right. One thing that I felt was overall disappointing about the season was its dedication to individual characters. It focused mostly on the Michael, which is indicative to the series as a whole. But Hugh, they barely tapped upon his, like, what the Trill experience did with him, and him wanting to join Book, and the trust me, I'm needed there. I need to go. Like, I was like, the fuck is this about?
Yeah, because they had worked on so much of it earlier on, and then we've had like 3 episodes of very little.
See, I don't feel like.
I feel like they called it back a little bit. Like, I knew that's why I was supposed to be here. I felt like some of that personality that we got in that one episode where he was super fun. You know.
So I don't feel like. See, I don't feel like they called back. I don't feel like they called back to it. Like, to me, it wasn't a focal point. I feel like they patted, Baldy and Blue fucking enough. They patted that person on the head enough, like, all the time. But they really didn't call back to Hugh enough on what the experience. What's that now?
It made him my favorite right there at the end. I mean, not more than Tilly. I'll always love Tilly. Tilly's my girl. Mm-hmm. But it made me really. I was like, you know what? He did such a great job with that character.
I loved Hugh. I loved Hugh. I loved Stamets. I wish they had built that up more to where I fully got behind it, because I almost forgot about that element. I really, especially that couple, because that's honestly one of my favorite couples in Star Trek is Hugh and Stamets. I really wish they had taken the time to dedicate, and I know they didn't expect this to be the series finale, but I just really wish we had gotten more with those two, because you go back to the first season where they're just brushing their teeth, just being a couple. Yeah. And I fucking loved that. And I know they kind of adopted Adira, but I really didn't need that. I really wish we could have seen more of just them fucking brushing their
parenting. We got more of their parenting than we did of their relationship.
Yeah, and I wish we had gotten more of their relationship, because that's what made me fall in love with those two. And the thing that I loved about them is the things I loved about their characters wasn't just the fact they're a couple. Like, take Jadzia and Worf. I loved them as characters, but they were great together as a couple, and they really complemented each other, and that's what I loved about those two. But the fact that Hugh's final arc in this, I'd almost forgotten the fact that we had led to this moment, and to me it just kind of came out of left field. And I just wish we had set it up just a little bit better. That
I
it
can
just didn't feel like
understand
a. Yeah, I wish like if it was hinted at every episode, like I'm feeling this way, or I know this, or I know this, like just something where it's like every episode we're kind of like, where'd that come from? What the fuck is this? How do
I
you
had to
know this?
remember what he was talking about when he said,
Yeah.
like I was meant to be here and all this kind of stuff. Like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
have all the memories and stuff. But I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You were totally a Trill for a second.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I loved it.
You Riker
Yeah,
that. They did that to Riker too when they put a Trill in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now we're
overall,
No,
let's take a couple minutes. But like I said, I gotta head out here in about 3-4 minutes. What Jefferson? Let's start with you. What was your overall thoughts of the season and then the series as a whole?
Overall, the season, I thought the season was fine. I think I could give it an 8 out of 10 overall for a season. The series as a whole, I think it started out kind of rough, but every series does as it tries to find its feet. But I think it did an admirable job of course correcting itself, and the jump to the future was the best decision it could have made. So a lot of redeeming value there.
JD, what about you, man?
I really, for the most part, I agree with Jefferson. I enjoyed most of this season. Yeah, it had some hurdles over, but yeah, about an 8 for me as well. Like overall, I really appreciate they gave us a little set to be.
Huh? Did anyone
Did
else
y'all
get
miss that?
I got some of it. It kind of cut out.
Like there's a
Sorry,
little
I don't know what
delay.
y'all missed. I thought it was.
Go ahead and say it again, buddy.
You agree with Jefferson?
I was saying that. Yeah, that this is about a good 8 out of 10, and that I thought the season was pretty good overall. It had some issues for sure, but I thought the story was fairly decent. It was fair, and I liked that they get at the wedding scene. They gave us a little nugget of basically what the Starfleet Academy series is going to be.
Mentor programs.
Yeah. What about you, Mickey? What do you think overall of the season and then the series as a whole?
All Trek is good Trek. But this was the Michael Burnham show. So I would have been, again, someone said, I think it was you, Vance, it could have ended at season 3, honestly. I think they could have expanded more. I do like that they jumped to the future. My favorite Michael Burnham moment in the entire series was when she was wasted, when the Orions drugged her, and she was channeling Whoopi Goldberg from Jumping Jack Flash. That was my favorite Michael Burnham ever. But I really could have done a lot less of her. It was the Michael show and book, and I would have loved so much more Star Trek. I would have loved so much more Jet Reno. I would have loved so much more. It was rushed. It was, and especially the last episode. Even though I was rushing it, it still felt like like someone had said, they pieced together things and done green screens and stuff like that. So overall, I'm glad we had it. I'm glad we got it. Again, I love all Trek is Trek to me, and if it brings in new fans, great. All that kind of stuff, but it makes no sense to me why, we're gonna get a Section 31 show and a Starfleet Academy that's going to take place with Tilly, and I'm glad that Mary Weissman's still going to be working because I adore her, but to cancel Lower Decks in the midst of this is ridiculous to me. This was the show to cancel, not Lower Decks, not Prodigy, not Lower Decks. Those are voice work that these people can do from a closet in a hotel in Toronto. So, yeah, I'd like to know what comes next. For Star Trek, I think we just move on to Strange New Worlds now. And move backwards in time, essentially. And then when and if Starfleet Academy happens, which I hope it does, there's going to be a Michael Burnham appearance or 3. They're going to throw it in like they did with DeForest Kelley and Michael Doohan and stuff in Next Gen. which that was awesome. This will be.
Jimmy Doolittle.
Weren't we just here? Did we just see you? It's been 5 minutes. Go away. So that's my. I love all Trek, but it was the Michael Burnham show from start to finish. And I would have loved all Trek.
For me, as I was watching this and I saw Admiral Burnham, at first I wanted to groan and roll my eyes. But I have to admit, I really found the last few moments of the series reflective. And I didn't want to like it because I don't like Michael Burnham as a character. But I had to take a moment and do some reflecting myself and think back to season 1 when we had short hair, long bangs Burnham, and yeah. How are you doing? And reflect back and go through that character's journey as pissed off Burnham to kind of first officer Burnham to Captain Burnham starting off, and think about that character's journey to how she's transitioned. And the thing about it is, I'm not a fan of Voyager for the most part. There are bits and pieces that I like, and I've said that repeatedly. Out of our generation of Trek, the golden age of Trek. But I will watch it. I watched it with my wife when she was watching it a couple weeks ago. She binge watched through it, and I watched it when I was home. And I think this series will get better as I binge watch it, in a couple years, just go through it. A couple months ago, I watched season 1 of Discovery, and stopped when they got back from the Mirror Universe. I think a couple months previously, I watched season 2 because I love Pike. I can always watch season 2, and I think that'll be the season that I always go back to when I watch Discovery. Season 3 is always kind of hit or miss. Once I get to find Starfleet, I kind of stop because it's kind of it's good up to that point, but it falls flat like soon after that for me. Seasons 4 and seasons 5 are always going to be, I think, the misses for me. I don't enjoy those. I love the uniforms. I feel like it looks right, but it doesn't feel right for me. I feel like the stories miss the mark, and it sucks because I love the characters, but I don't feel like I know enough about them. And the stories, they fall very flat for me. And I wish we could have got to know more of the characters as an ensemble, not just a certain character. And it sucks because it makes me resent the character more. And this shouldn't be the case. They brought some
Wish 7 of 9.
What's that now?
The poor girl, Emily. I don't know her character's name. You called her the Wish 7 of 9.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Math. If V-Man says he only has 3 minutes left and talks for like 6 minutes, how late will it be? Dude, right? No, this is just like how it used to be back in the day. Right.
Well, I liked this a lot better than last season. That's me. I thought it was much better than season 4.
Yeah, I wasn't as bored as I was. Like last season, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? I wasn't that this way. Like last season, I'd give it probably a 3. This one, I'd say it's probably a 5. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Last season, I really hated it. Because I actively hated it. Because nothing made sense. This one, it made sense, but I was just really bored. And I was missing my people.
Right.
But as a series whole, I would say that I'm glad they made Discovery. Yeah.
You were missing your people? What were their names?
Wish 7 of 9 and Mrs. T. Come on. We know this. Come on. That's the A team. No pun intended.
In Star Trek Discovery besides Michael Burnham.
Tilly.
It was violent.
Saru. And okay. Is it a Showa? Is that it?
That's the closest you've been all season.
Okay. And shit. What's the other one? Give me a hint. What's her name? Fuck.
Well, rhymes with Dexter.
No, I was thinking Tig Navarro.
Oh,
But that's her name in real
Lusicon.
life.
What you were trying to say before.
Lexter. Fuck,
No.
that's not it.
Maybe Linus.
Detmer.
Oh shit, that's right, Linus. Fuck, I forgot about. He sneezed on that one guy in season
Linus.
2.
But he's
Shit.
like, he's hella.
Reese. I know Reese. I know Reese. See, I had to think about it. See, I thunk real good. Shit. Anyway, overall, I'm glad they made Discovery. It's not my trek for the modern age, but I'm glad people out there like it and enjoyed it. I love those. What's that?
We got Pike.
Dude, fuck yeah, we got Pike.
We got Pike.
Fuck yeah.
We got Ethan Peck as fucking Spock. And we got Rebecca Romaine, formerly Stamos.
Wait, what's the security guy's name? Fuck, what is the security guy's name?
Michael.
You
Wait, is
said
that
it? Reese.
Oh, did I? Oh, that was Reese?
Was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that Reese? Oh, that was Reese. Yeah. Wait, shit. I'm gonna bow out because I'm shaming myself because I forgot. Fuck. I love you people. Oh shit. Okay, we gotta.
Discovery.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
On that,
You were called
guys.
SCP.
So are we gonna do something with NerdTube next week? Or are we gonna just talk Trek, or what are we doing?
I'm down to do whatever you guys want.
That I do not know. For me personally, with it being the summer, I'm going to have to say that if I don't have something going on with the kids, then whoever's doing something I could do. But unfortunately, I'm not able to prioritize Star Trek podcasting.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a break until the next show comes out, and whenever the next show is, then we all just get back together and make that a regular thing.
I think it's Strange
Sound
New
good, guys?
Worlds.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm almost sure it's Strange New Worlds coming out next.
Okay,
Sounds
then
good.
guys. All right, then guys at home, thank you for joining us, and we will see you when the next new Trek show comes out. And you guys on panel, I want to thank you guys for doing this with me. It's been a pleasure doing this with you guys, and we'll see you on the next show, whenever that is. All right, guys.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.